So with all this fear that's happening right now, fear and greed index is currently at 11, which is extreme fear. Mark my words. What happens through the cycle of the fear and greed index? When was the last time we saw the fear and greed index be this low? When the tariff situation was crashing. Now I'm not calling bottom today, right, in the stock market, right? But if you think about the dynamics of the situation, for you guys that understand these markets and the analogy of what Warren Buffett says, buy when people are fearful. What do you think's happening right now? There's so much fear in the marketplace. People calling tops. People saying that the market's rolling over right now. People say that the top is in, and then they're going through this slew of reasons why. I'm not. I'm actually not. I'm actually saying that, you know, if you actually just look at the history of these markets and how they swing, even on a short-term level basis, what I mean through a couple of months, the market goes from, greed, then it goes to fear, right? When the tariff situation dropped this year, the fear greed index actually got to extreme fear. It actually even got down to 2. Now 2 was the bottom. And then guess what happened after the 2? We had what? We've had this massive rally ever since. And now everyone's greed. And now there's a lot of greed. And now the market's dropping. Now it's back at 11. I'm expecting maybe a bit more weakness this week as well too, which is probably going to push it down even more. But we're at that bottom 10% of the fear. That's going to be like a slingshot, because when most people are greedy, like they were with gold a few months ago, that's when the sharp correction comes, like we got in gold. The flip side is also true, right? So we're looking at the stock market right now. This is why the stock market's actually not that far from its highs. It has been pulling back a little bit, maybe a few percent, 3, 4%, 5%, not that much. And we're at extreme fear. This tells me one thing. This tells me that while November is going to be probably pretty weak, the December is going to be the start of the up move. And then I'm expecting a really, really big move. In fact, the charts tell me, and by looking at the actual charts itself and the actual diagram here, is that it actually tells me that we should get to, my projection looking at these charts is that once we start to make a move, then I have a target now of 8,500 on the S&P. Right now we're sitting at 6,600. Once we hold here through December's probably going to break above that high. Once S&P gets back above that 7,000, game on for the bulls. Massive game on.